Hello all my minifigs, I am Bmanlegoboy and thank you very much for clicking on this video. And today I have another reaction for you. I will be reacting to What If Luke Fought Snoke in The Last Jedi? Star Wars Theory, animated fanfic. So this is uploaded by Star Wars Theory about 2 minutes ago by the time I'm watching it. And guys, in case you guys have never heard of Star Wars Theory, he's a really cool guy who just recently, about a few months ago, hit 1 million subscribers. And he does a lot of, well, all he does is basically like what ifs in like the Star Wars universe. He also gives us updates on like everything that's going on in the Star Wars universe, like in terms of like upcoming movies and all that sort of stuff. So the link for his channel will be down below. I highly suggest subscribing to him and checking out his videos because his videos are actually very well done. So if you guys watched my previous video or the first video of his that I reacted to, What If I Wrote The Last Jedi Part 1, I don't know if this is Part 2. I'm pretty sure if it was, then the title would be What If I Wrote The Last Jedi Part 2, but I'm not entirely sure. It could be, but at this point, with the title and everything, I don't think it is, but I'm very excited to see this. He has been teasing about this for about a few days. It's fully animated, so I mean, the animations that he does they're pretty good. They're not full animation like Disney or anything like that, but it is pretty good. So, I guess we'll just have to find out for ourselves what this whole battle will be like. So guys, the original video will be down in the description below, as well as Star Wars Theory's channel. And without further ado, let's get into the reaction. Playing in 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey guys, what is going on today? So while the sequel fanfiction to the totally far-fetched Last Jedi video that I made a few weeks ago in honor of hitting 1 million subs is being completed, I'm gonna make this one. As I know there are a lot of you who want to see just what would have happened in a more realistic fanfiction that went along with the storyline from the movie that we actually got. So let's jump right into it. Let's assume everything in The Last Jedi went the way it did when Rey asks Luke to come with her and he looks down at the rock floor saying that he can't in defeat. She leaves and then Luke has that scene with Yoda. Now, after the scene with Yoda, his faith is restored. All he needed was to have some words of wisdom put into his head from his old master, and since he shut himself off from the Force for all those years, he couldn't hear him or any of the Force ghosts, for that matter. As the sun began to rise on the planet, Luke walked over
Wait, so
the
then
edge
does
of
that
the
really
cliff
mean that
on
Luke
Octu,
can't come back?
closed his eyes and raised his hand, feeling the Force move through him for the first time in decades.
Oh, he's
He
lifting
had
his
forgotten
X-Wing.
the true raw power that the mighty Skywalker bloodline possessed as it pulsed through his veins. Out from the ocean rose his old X-Wing, moss and seaweed hanging from it as he began to open his eyes. As he made sure the ship was safe to pilot, he got in and set course for Snoke's ship, speeding off into the sky. While Rey is arrested and taken to Snoke's chambers with Kylo, the same thing happened as it did in the film.
full-on animation,
However,
but okay.
this is where we see some parallels between The Last Jedi and A New Hope, where Obi-Wan was lurking the halls incognito to find Vader, whereas now, Luke does the same thing to find Snoke and his throne room. As Rey is on her knees, controlled by Snoke, who says the line,
I cannot be betrayed. I cannot be beaten. I see his mind. I see his every intent.
When someone says, but not mine, Snoke immediately stops speaking as all the Praetorian guards turn to look behind Ben, igniting their weapons. There stands Luke Skywalker, Jedi Grand Master. As he steps forwards, his cape billowing with each confident stride towards Ben, all 8 of Snoke's Praetorian guards run at him, straight on.
Of course.
Without a moment of hesitation, he raises them all into the air and throws them into the electrical spiral vent at the corner of the room, turning them into nothing but charred dust. With Snoke's mouth agape, Ben ignites his lightsaber to strike his true enemy, Luke Skywalker, when he suddenly finds himself gasping for air as Luke smirks at his choking nephew, continuing to walk by Rey, who looks confused, proud, and scared all at the same time. Walking right up to Snoke, he stands before him and says, "I came for my father's lightsaber," as he looked to the old blue one sitting by Snoke's hand, throwing his robe off, showing his Return of the Jedi hilt dangling from his belt. Snoke is furious. He stands towering over everyone.
You dare show yourself on my ship, kill my gods, and expect to walk away with your failure of a father's lightsaber.
My father did not fail. Anakin returned to destroy the Sith and put an end to it all. That is, until you came back.
Vader. His betrayal of Sidious left me looking for another, until I found the true heir to his throne, as he stands in this very room.
The Force is strong in my family. Yet, you found a scared little boy. You corrupted and tormented his mind, much like Sidious did to Anakin, and I won't let it happen any longer. Reaching for his hilt, he ignites the emerald green blade before Snoke, who begins to laugh.
Very well, I will play along.
Snoke is gonna
As Snoke
use
grabs
the
Anakin's
blue
blue
one.
lightsaber next to him and ignites
Of
it.
course.
His entire palm almost covering the whole weapon itself. He moves forwards to duel Luke. The whole battle looks ridiculous, yet heroic at the same time. This giant monster wielding a weapon much too small for him against this little man with the
Come
green
on,
sword.
Luke.
As the two continue to fight, Kylo runs at Luke to fight him when Rey uses the Force to push him to the ground as Kylo ignites his crossguard at Rey, who is defenseless. Luke knows what's about to happen. He knows he must act fast. As he fights Snoke, who looks extremely bored, he backs off and takes the red Sith crystal from his necklace and shows it before Snoke. This is what you've wanted for a long time, isn't it? As Snoke's eyes light up, he reaches out to use the Force to grab it, when Luke takes this moment to his advantage and throws his green lightsaber through the air, twirling as it slices Snoke's hand off. Anakin's lightsaber falling to the floor as Luke summons it to Rey, who ignites it and squares off against Kylo Ren. As Snoke looks at Luke, more mad than in pain, he
Is he gonna
grabs
use
Luke by
Force
the throat
lightning?
with the Force and holds him still, choking the life out of him. As he throws Luke towards the ground, he picks up his green lightsaber, ignites it, and says,
Your father won't be here to save you this time.
as Snoke sends shockwave after shockwave of Force lightning at Luke, who screams in pain.
Are we gonna see
having
Anakin?
forgotten what it was like to feel this searing agony. As a massive yell comes from across the room, Rey throws her lightsaber in the air towards Snoke, hoping to distract him or attack him at least. But to no avail. Snoke is too fast and powerful. He deflects it with Luke's green blade. Defenseless and distracted, Kylo seizes the opportunity and cuts her head off,
Oh.
making Rey shriek in pain along with Luke. The Master and Apprentice revel in the situation. As Luke is in searing pain, the electricity coursing his body just as it did those many years ago, he remembers his training and calls upon the Force.
Face your dark.
Beginning to extend his hand outwards, using the same power Yoda taught him after his fight with the Emperor, to deflect and
Oh.
control Force lightning. It was working. Luke began to slowly deflect Snoke's attack towards the walls, away from him, as the anger began to swell inside of him, something he had not used since Vader threatened to turn Leia, his eyes flickering a pale yellow as he danced between the light and dark. Snoke's smirk began to soften, as Luke coiled himself and rose into the air, extending his arms and looking to the sky, if there was one, sending an unbelievably powerful shockwave out in all directions beyond himself and Rey, throwing Snoke and Kylo back into the wall so hard that they were left unconscious for several seconds. Luke used the moment. He grabbed the staggering Rey and used Force speed to get back to his X-Wing that he had hidden in their utility cargo bay, strapping up and getting the heck out of there. As Snoke rose to let out a giant yell, he ordered Hux to follow them into hyperspace immediately, as Luke speeds off through the stars with Rey disappearing into the galaxy.
Wow. I thought we were going to see Anakin, but I guess not. but wow.
Alrighty guys, let me know what you thought of that, and if you would have anything go differently in this one. This is something that I would have loved to have seen on screen, but I hope at least I could entertain you guys for a little bit today. Write your conclusions to the next episode of it, and I will see you all in the next episode of Star Wars Theory. Until
Wait,
then,
is this gonna be
my fellow
continued?
Jedi and Sith friends, remember,
The Force will be with you always.
Now, fulfill your destiny.
Okay, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. I will admit. I'm wondering if there will be a part 2 to this. If there is, then I can't wait to see that, because it kind of left on a cliffhanger. So, if this takes place when, like, if they're still firing at the Resistance transports, could this mean that that the First Order will forget about the Resistance, abandon them attacking, and then just go after Skywalker and Rey? If so, that's kind of shocking, but maybe it's only like Snoke's ship, and then the rest of the Star Destroyers are left to destroy the Resistance. I don't know. So, in this one, someone gets their arm chopped off as always. And unfortunately, that's Rey, so, well, it's kind of sad, but then again, kind of predictable. Okay. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. Make sure to go subscribe to Star Wars Theory and give him the love he so very much deserves. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, all my minifigs.